It's going live. Here we go.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. It's no their fault that the internet's doing, but we'll get on what platform we can. Join myself, Fox, here on the programme tonight is the one and only GB. Evening, GB.
Good evening, gents. How are we all doing?
All right, Bridgeman, how are we doing, Bridge?
Oh, brilliant, pal. Thank you very much. A big good evening to you too. Huge good evening to the guys in the lobby, to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yeah, how we doing, GB? Enjoy the match yesterday?
Very well, mate. I was sitting next to a few famous faces yesterday, mate. I had a very, very comfy, great view of the stadium seat, so I can't complain, mate. I was over the moon.
All right for some minute.
There's some. I tell you something, Ox. There's some nice people out there that give you some nice, comfy seats. I tell you.
All right for some, Bridgeman. Spivery's no dead. Talking about Spivery, Bridge. Talking about Spivery, I've been. Somebody's been saying that you partook in a bit of Spivery yesterday. Is there any truth in this story?
Skipper, Mr.
Yes.
Skipper, aye.
Yes. Is there any truth about this?
Bro.
The sweeties were available.
Yes, there's a lot in it because I gave him a book about Jim Baxter.
Mm-hmm.
But he claimed it hadn't been. There was a signature on it, and someone stole a signature from the book.
He told me that when he gave you, it was signed, and then when you gave it back, it was unsigned. Is that correct?
That's what he said. But he gave me a packet of dollar mixtures to soothe my soreness. I was killing myself laughing.
You're going to have to hold out for better than dollar mixtures, pair drops or something like that we can go with. Right, okay. We're going to get the view for the bridge, GB, and you can give your thoughts on your day, and then we'll hear from the manager. Does that sound like a plan?
It's all good to me, mate. Crack on.
All right, let's hear the view from the bridge.
Oh, good evening and welcome to a view from the bridge. For yesterday's game, Rangers versus Hibs, 3rd of October 2021, SPFL Premier League game. Rangers welcomed Hibs to Ibrox for a top of the league clash, and it was a top of the league clash. The game started the game well with some nice passing interchanges, but on 8 minutes we lose the plot in defence and no proper communication. Young Carden gets in a great cross from our left hand, finds Nisbet, who heads the ball back across our keeper and into the net. Great goal for Hibs, terrible goal for us to lose. With 4 players within 3 yards of the striker and no challenge. We continued to play well and attacked. However, our final ball was not our best. Hibs had started time wasting at that time a wee bit earlier, and it got worse and worse with no chasing up by the referee or his assistants. In 30 minutes, a shocking attempt at a tackle on Arrivo by Porteous takes him down, and the ref shows him a straight red. Well-deserved red card too. Porteous only has to play the ball. I don't know what is going on in his head. What's the reason for it? That he wants to go in with that intent. It's the second time that he's done it against us, because it did against Lusana Koulibaly. I know it's a couple of years ago, that long really. He's obviously not learning, and that has left his manager down badly yesterday. Arriva gets some attention and we restart. Until half time, we increased the pressure on Hibs. It was all Rangers. On 60 minutes, Ruth stole beyond the Hibs defence to guide home Patterson's great cross and beat the Hibs keeper at last, 1-1 for the famous. It was a very similar cross and header to we had done. Very, very similar. Hibs had done to us. The Hibs keeper brought out a few good saves from us and one tremendous save from Hadji. Hard lines Hadji. On 60 minutes, Borna swings in a great cross from the left and Morelos gets free and gets a head on the ball and puts it into the net. 2-1 for the famous. The manager and his players celebrated wildly at full time. Absolutely went mental. It was really great. A great atmosphere. Full time 2-1. I think that Lundstrom was outstanding for us. Best player on the park by a long way. I was also pleased to see him play alongside Davis when Davis came on with no changes to his game. Well done to both. Ruth and Morelos managed to play well together today and each got a goal. Well played both. Brisbane says we did a bit more luck. With a bit more luck, the score would have been a few goals higher. Once again, Rangers were the victims of a litany of serious time wasting, this time by the team who are actually challenging us at the top of the league. Right from the very start, virtually just shocking. The officials let it go and during the whole game, I now think every team who visits us will do the same. This time wasting can only be bad for Scottish football and its fans, particularly our fans. I believe that Hibs are the dirtiest team in the league. After yesterday, there should have been 3 red cards for them. Porteous for that possible career-ending lunge against Arrivo, and he wasn't going for the ball at all. In my mind, there was no chance he was going for a ball. He should get a 5-game ban effective immediately. He deliberately tried to injure Arrivo 100%. That's my opinion. McGinn for the violence against Wright twice. The ref standing 2 yards away. He's a nasty wee piece of him. Hanlon for pushing Morelos to the ground near the end of the game, down the corner. Foul on a yellow card, but only a foul was given. He then gets up and he kicks the ball away. Another yellow card offence. 2 yellow cards, that equals a red card. Unbelievable we got away with it. Hope they get pumped in every game for the rest of the season, or the rest of the time for that matter. The officials, once again, were not as impartial as they should have been. That's all I can say about that. Player by player. McGregor 6, Patterson 7, Goldson 7, Balogun 7, and Barisic 7. Hadji 6, Lundstrom 8, Kamara 6, Arriba 6, Morelos 7, Wright 6. Man of the match, Lundstrom. Possession 74%, Rangers 26% Hibs. Total shots 20 Rangers, 4 Hibs. Shots on target 4 Rangers, 1 Hibs. Corners 12 Rangers, 1 Hibs. Fouls 16 Rangers, 11 Hibs. And this is the end of A View from the Bridge.
View from the Bridge. Can take anymore. View from the Bridge. Can take anymore.
I like your tune, guys.
I love it. I do a wee toe tap when it's on. A wee dance round about the house.
Me too.
That's Bridges' that ringtone now. When you dial them up, that's what you get.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant, Barry. Absolutely
Mrs.
brilliant.
Bridges sick yet. First thing in the morning it gets off.
Class.
Oh,
You
brilliant.
see that in McDonald's or something where he's going up.
Oh my God.
View from the Right, give us your thoughts, guys.
For me, mate, it was a mix of emotions, that game yesterday, and a game of 2 halves. It was great to see us having this mentality now about rolling up the sleeves and getting a result. Dundee was a bit like that as well. We had to just dig in and get the result. And yesterday, yes, the red card did change the game, but we still had to go and grab 2 goals to win that match yesterday. So for me, hats off to the team. We've been critical of the performances, but that yesterday for me was a great show of character and a fighting spirit that we've been questioning, but it looks as though it's there. I can't remember many times back when it was title challenges where we've had to kind of fight like this to keep in top of the league. But we're doing a great job now, especially when the form's not there. So really proud of them.
It was an interesting game. It was quite exciting because of the nerves when you're 1-down and you're chasing the game, Bridge, yeah?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, pal. Absolutely. You know, I think I couldn't believe it. I mean, virtually the whole of the, well, probably the whole of the stadium, but certainly the whole of the Copeland rear, they just switched down. When that ball went in there, we just couldn't believe it. There's 4 Rangers players standing there, 3 of them within 3 yards of the guy. Nobody marked him, and it's no wee 20 guys. You're talking about Lundstrom and what do you call him, Goldson.
I blame when I watched that game, Bridge. I blame the centre half. It's his body coming.
Oh yes, absolutely. Nobody's innocent, but Goldson especially. And the thing is, if I can't centre half's not getting it, someone else must go and try it. But no, so yeah. The guy was on his own.
Sitting for my comfy seat yesterday when I seen the Barisic, I felt Barisic should have stopped the cross, mate. It was right beside him, and it's a usual thing with us. We allow that cross to come in, and 9 times out of 10 it hurts us. And I just wish he really needs to start waking up with these kind of things, because he's always the one. It's always him that ends up allowing that cross in. Again,
for me, Bridgeman, you know what I'm saying here, Bridge. He's got to get half a yard closer, then he can cross the ball, can he?
100%, yeah. And he watches him doing it, and he's actually leading them. It looks like to me he's trying to lead him down, right down close to the line. But the boy did well in getting the ball away down there and then getting across in. Barisic should have been challenging him right on the line before he get the cross in. His foot should have been in there. Okay, he gives away a free kick out there. It's just like a corner. Just go on with it. But no, that was a good cross in, and by goodness gracious, that boy took that ball well.
It was a good cross. From your point of view, it's a good cross, but Barisic just dangled a leg out. He's got to do better. But once the cross comes in, we'll get Patterson, who followed the boy Boyle. He felt as if he should have marked him. I think he should have a wee bit of experience there, Bridge, because he should pass him on, and then he marks his space, yeah? Yeah,
I noticed him just let Boyle go, because the ball was coming over.
He went running with Boyle, and he's got to pass Boyle on. Yeah, in the centre halves. And then Patterson comes in, exactly where Nisbet's talking. But I think he'll learn from that, young Patterson. And then you move on. That's the pressures of playing with Rangers. But the response pleased me. Some people say that the game changed in the 39th minute. We still had opportunities to make chances before that, GB.
I mean, Hadji and Alfie for the header. And the shot, it was he got away then. There was chances there that we could have got back into the game. And even before Hibs' goal, we were on. I felt as though we were a wee bit on the ascendancy, mate. It was their goal kind of just came against the run of play a wee bit for me. But
the first 5 minutes we started the game reasonably well, GB.
Mm-hmm. Aye, but we were on the front foot. It looked as though we were playing a bit quicker than usual. But there was times again, like I says, we're very, very slow. We're looking for that perfect goal too many times for me again. I did enjoy the second half actually when it got to the point where it was Davis, Lundstrom and Bacuna. The pace of that midfield then was obviously we've got an extra man, but I did enjoy that kind of midfield setup, mate.
I think that after they scored the goal, we get on the ascendancy a wee bit, and then they came back into it. And they were doing their one of the things that they love doing is bumping the long high ball up, and they were targeting Halligan because Big Nisbet had beaten him, and Nisbet must have beat him 5 or 6 times during that game, maybe 7 times in the air, like, you know. When it came to the ground,
Boy Nisbet looked no a bad player at times yesterday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, looked no a bad player at times yesterday. Obviously he's went through the ranks of Scottish football. They put a £5 million price tag in his head. I'm not saying I would like to spend that for him, but it'll be interesting to see how he develops. You know.
He moves well for me, Oxy. He does find space and stuff like that for me. So, and that goal, like I says, like you say, he was stunning himself, mate.
He's still got to do it, mate. It's a good finish. Anyway, we'll go forward to our goal. Patterson, who I didn't think he had the greatest of games. He wasn't poor Bridge, but he didn't have the greatest of games. But he made the goal with a good cross, picked out Ruth. Ruth showing his instinct, playing on the line, got himself away into space, and a similar finish, Bridge.
A very similar goal, very similar. Well, slightly different angles, but a very similar goal. To the man at the far, basically near enough the far post, and the guy gets the ball over past the keeper, on the front of the keeper, that is. Just brilliant. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant goal, but a great goal, and we were so happy. As you can imagine, the Copeland just, up in arms. Absolutely fabulous. Loved it.
Is there any truth when that goal went in? You offered your sweets around? Or is that a
No, they were gone by then. They were gone by then.
And then we had them. I mean, it was one-way traffic, but then GB, yeah.
It was, mate. I was going to ask you there. That just obviously talked about Ruth. Were you surprised with the two up top?
No. I thought that was the right decision. One thing that frustrated me yesterday, and I'll ask you to this and get your thoughts. I didn't think Wright was fantastic yesterday. I didn't think him and Hadji had good games, but they weren't bad. But see, when Wright, he had the pace of the boy McGinn. He's got him booked. I don't understand, especially when they're doing to 10 men. We just didn't put Wright out to the outside left channel. And then he just has to run at McGinn the whole game, Bridge. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's a nasty wee guy, Tim McGinn. He would take him down 100%. He wouldn't put up with it. He would end up just lashing it. And that's what you'd want Wright to do. Just target him, keep going.
Especially if you get in that box, he can't do nothing. He's been booked.
Exactly. That's what I was shouting to him. I was shouting for him. When you get the ball, no matter right or left, get in the box because somebody might whack you. You never know.
Ox, not even that. There was times in the second half yesterday where Wright was in the box. He had 3 guys on him, so that's leaving a lot of space for us. So again, he just needs to get the shot away or get the pass away. I mean, and we're in. It was just a whole lot of time he held onto the ball too long yesterday. And
I'm cutting him and Hadji a bit of slack. I mean, let's just say the two of them have played a lot of football for different reasons, but we'll see where he gets him. There's meant to come for both of them, mate. Yeah.
Aye, and the Patterson Hadji partnership yesterday as well. There was a really bad understanding between the two of them at points yesterday. There was just Hadji was screaming for it, and then see when they actually did get it right yesterday, Ox, it was brilliant. It did work really well, but there was times the wee man just didn't. Well, when I say wee man, I mean Patterson just didn't get the thinking right, and then again Hadji sometimes as well. It just didn't get his positioning right in the game.
I think they passed the ball a couple of times. It didn't quite work for him. We won the game. Don't want to be too critical. There's more to come. I don't think Patterson showed there was some positives, but he also showed some inexperience at time, Bridge. Yeah?
Oh yes, you saw that in his game, and some of the inexperience was he was having shots. And I don't mind them having a shot, but the shot wasn't on. But he saw a space and he went for it and had a shot. And really and truly, there were times that they shouldn't be shooting. They should be just holding the ball. See if you can find a jersey or even come back with it, because all you're doing is giving possession away, and you do that enough by making mistakes within the play, but don't just do it deliberately. Don't try and take a shot that goes 50 yards over the bar. I mean, that's seriously what it looked like. Get magic.
The one as bad as Lundstrom's 2 shots yesterday.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully it gets better.
We'll not talk about them, because apart from that, he had quite a good game. I still think he could have stood against Nisbet for the goal and made it harder for him, but that's just...
100%. I don't care who it was the closest to him. Go in there, even bundle him a wee bit, They don't really give you a penalty, that's for sure.
Yeah, just make it jump. Get close to it, make it difficult for him. No. Anyway, I think we'll get these phone lines open, GB, yeah?
Let's get the Bears in, mate.
Yeah, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bridge. I thought Lundstrom was our best player yesterday. What was your thoughts, GB?
Yep, he's really starting to nailed in that position, the Ox, for me. I'm not saying Davis is not got to be in the picture for us because he's still got to be an important player, but I'm really surprised how it's turned around so quickly for Lundstram. I felt at that time when he got the 2 yellow cards in Europe that it was going to be a long way back for him to be in that team. But the last couple of games, he is starting to cement that place. And he's no scared. Yesterday, my heart was in my mouth a lot of the time. A couple of his challenges he was going in, but I don't mind that because he's no scared to go in and have a wee bit of a dig. He done the one on Deutsch and the one in Boyle. He was right in about them. So that kind of let them know that we're in the game as well. We want a bit of the physical side of the game. So hopefully he'll be a wee bit an enforcer, but obviously we don't want it being that he's the guy that's getting sent off all the time.
No, you've got to play with the head as well and the heart, Burge, as you well know, mate.
Yes, indeed. Yes, and that's for sure. That's for sure. I think I don't have a negative against any of our players yesterday. That to me was one of our best victories, particularly against that mob. I think it was just a superb game. I think the manager even mentioned that he's enjoyed that game so far this season. That's the best manager he's enjoyed because there's a lot of tension with him, a lot of history between the two clubs and in particular the fans. Because we all know, and I've got no feelings of niceness towards Hibernian, none at all. And I'm ever so happy we won that game. I don't care how we won it. I just wanted to win it, but we won it well. I think we won it well.
Well, we witnessed the fans, Bridge. We were together that day, witnessed
absolutely,
it.
Absolutely. That club is never
plus I get that £60 fine, which
rounded
my day off
because he paid you back, didn't he?
Because he
paid you back for that.
Don't talk to me about that.
Ox, are you happy with the character that we're showing though at this time? I mean, it's brilliant.
You've got to critique when we win. We were poor against Dundee and we won the game. We won yesterday, a different kind of game, better performance. All right, they went down to 10 men. We accept that, we know that. You can't change it. I thought it was a red card for me. When I first saw it, Bridge, I didn't notice it, but when you seen it, I seen it from a different angle. I don't know what he's thinking about. I just really don't know. But red card, off you go. I don't think they'll win any appeal. But so then that obviously gives us a lift, means them change their tactics, means they're more negative, gives us more space to play. But it was the speed and the tempo was a bit better for me, that's what
I think. Particularly second half, may I say. Yes. Obviously, we were playing against 10 men and they were starting to run out a wee bit of steam, but we kept going. And I think they were getting driven. I thought when they brought Davis on, he was absolutely brilliant as a partner for Lundstram. Absolutely brilliant.
Listen, I just think we'll get more to come when fit Ryan Kent comes back. And if he's firing on all cylinders, Wright's got to perform again in this team, then the squad. Hadji, we know Hadji. By the way, I've got to say, Hadji, he was unlucky with his shot right in front of you, Bridge, in the second half.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
But he's passed in the first minute. He's passed in the first minute. I think it was the first minute, maybe the second.
It was indeed. Yes.
Absolutely sublime. I don't know if anybody else could do that for us because it gave them all the eyes, sent them in one way, played the ball inside. It was half a yard. If it had been half a yard weaker, it was a goal the first minute. But then that was a good Hadji. The rest of it, my thoughts, yeah.
He's got these wee flicks, and both of you will know this, I've seen it. He's got these wee flicks that when they come off, they're absolutely sublime. Absolutely sublime. And you're so pleased he's playing well for you and he's in your team. See when it doesn't come off. And there must have been 4 or 5 he did yesterday that didn't.
When you're one down.
That's it. Oh.
Right, we're going to hear for the gaffer if that's all right with you, GB.
Yep, that's here from me.
Go for it.
And then we'll see who's about. Right, let's hear for gaffer, Stephen George Gerrard.
Congratulations. Thank you. Half fought, but in the end, your emotions at the end, I suppose, told all.
There's nothing wrong with getting emotional. I really enjoyed that today. I really enjoyed our performance. Top of the table clash against a really strong team. You say we were made to work hard for it, but that was no surprise because Hibs have started the season strong. They're in a good place. Jack's got them well drilled and they're a good footballing team. So we expected the tough challenge. It could become a bit complicated after 8-9 minutes when we conceded a goal. But I thought that was against the run of play because I think for the majority of the game, we've controlled it. We've played some really nice football, and we found our invention and our variety in the final third, albeit against 10 men. But sometimes you sit here in the manager, and sometimes it's harder against 10 men because there's more men behind the ball. So we're a lot closer to where we want to be after today's performance. So, and listen, the support, the players, the staff, we're going to need each other to lift each other over the course of the season. So that was the reason why I wanted to show a bit of emotion at the end of the game and make no apology for that.
Talk us through that emotion, because was it a sense of relief that, after an actual rate, John Wilson said you asked the players to leave it on the pitch because it was so important that there is that break coming up?
Well, that's what I see my team do. I see Yanis Hadji bent over, struggling to breathe. I see Nathan Patterson going down with cramp. I see Scott Wright with 3-4 kicks with ice all over his body. Joe Aribo and Glenn Kamara, I had to offload them because they looked jaded with the effort they put in last week. But today we flipped our formation to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more front foot. We never waited today. We went after Hibs. The goal I thought was against the run of play, but it was a fantastic goal from Hibs' point of view. We need to defend that situation better. But the majority of the game and the big picture, I was really happy with our performance.
Stephen, in terms of the way that the team responded, particularly in that second half, which was a big pressure situation, is that maybe something that comes from the confidence of being the champions, to be able to say that even if we're not playing at our best, we can gut this out, we can grit this out, we can work and get it?
Listen, we had to suck the blow up first and foremost. When you can see the goal and you're in control, sometimes that's a little bit more damaging. So it was all about our reaction. I thought we reacted in a really mature way. We didn't panic. We settled ourselves down after probably 5-10 minutes after conceding the goal. We've done our best to get in the game before the half-time whistle, but half-time gives us a chance to change a few things, lift the boys and get them to keep asking more questions and keep trying to work the goalkeeper. We had belief and confidence that we had enough time to turn the result round. But the players deserve all the credit for that, because they're the ones that went out and provided the quality moments to get us back in the game. 2 number 9s with 2 fantastic headers, 2 fantastic assists, and the keepers had to make another 2-3 really good saves to keep us out. So it's a lot more like us, how I want it to look. A lot more inventive, a lot more exciting, and that's probably the game I've enjoyed the most so far this season. And it's because we looked a little bit closer to how I wanted to look.
Steve, we spoke on Friday about this state of flux so far this season, and I think that's another front three, or a new front three you started with today. And despite all of that, you're still top of the league. You're only 1 point worse off in this stage last season, going into an international break. What can you take from that, is what you've gone through and still being in that position? What message that sent to the rest of the league, that even through that, Rangers are still...
Listen, it's still very early. First and foremost, we can still improve and get better. We can still tweak. We'll keep pushing and driving the team forward, but we have to think that it's a positive place to be in, considering that we haven't maybe gone into our top gear, or we haven't found that spark or that bit of life that obviously a lot of people keep mentioning. I appreciate that and understand it, but we have had to deal with a lot of different things: injuries, suspensions, COVID. Yesterday the plan was to have Scott Arfield back in the team. He's picked up an illness from his daughter from school, not COVID related, but what we found as a staff, and what I've certainly found this season, is curveballs are coming at you left, right and centre, and you've got to adapt and try and deal with that. And as a team and a squad, we are, because we're in the place we want to be, but we can still get better, and that's the positive thought from my point of view.
Stephen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Set-up performance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Changes in particular, bringing Kamal Roof made a huge difference up front.
Thank you.
Obviously, before the game, we made 6 changes today, one of which was leaving the captain out.
Yeah.
How difficult was that?
Yeah, it is difficult, and I think it would have surprised an awful lot of people, which I appreciate. But Tav is capable of playing 55, 60 games. I know he is, because he's a machine and he's very robust, but he had an injury at the back end of last season, and as a manager and a staff, we feel in the first three and a bit years we've overused James, and we've had backups to come in and try and offload them, but we haven't had the backup of the quality of Nathan Patterson, who's a Scottish international. So we've got just as much trust in James as we have in Nathan, and vice versa. And we want maybe less games out of James, but with more quality and foot to the floor. And I believe that'll help him career-wise. and it'll certainly help the group. So, as I said earlier on, the boys have to trust us with the decisions we've made, and hopefully they pay dividends at the end of the season. But it's important that the boys trust us.
Another powerhouse display from John Lundstrom.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. John was rested in midweek. Stephen Davis went to the well for us. He ran hard. He's 36 years of age. He's going to go and play in big, important qualifiers today. So it made sense in terms of that decision. We knew at some point in the game we'd need Davo's control and head and maturity. But I'm not surprised John got man of the match. I thought he was outstanding in everything he did.
Hi Stephen,
Hello.
a sense of your pride that you have in the squad and the team today. You must be exceptionally pleased that when you've asked them to go and really deliver a performance against the team who's top of the table, that they've done that for you.
Yeah, and we're going to have to do it more than just today. I'd say 99% of what we asked in terms of game plan, in terms of mentality, in terms of individually what we asked and demanded from the players today, they went and did it. And not only did they do that, they done that after a big setback, because to concede in the first 10 minutes, sometimes that can take your game plan away. People can start doing different things, but the boys are showing that they're maturing, they're getting better, and with experience of last year, I think we're benefiting from that now moving forward.
Stephen, criticise your thoughts on the red card?
It's a red card, 100%. As someone who knows a thing or two about bad tackles, because I've made a few myself, it doesn't come much worse than that. To go in at that speed, with that force, with that height, if he'd have connected with Joe Aribo, Joe's season would have been done for sure. This kid done one very similar on Lasana Kulabai a little while ago, and he obviously hasn't learnt his lesson, and hopefully he learns moving forward, because he's let Jack down today and his staff and his players. The 1-0 up, he can play the ball. If he wants to play the ball, he can play the ball, but he decides to go a foot over the ball, and he's running at some speed, and thankfully it wasn't full contact, otherwise Joe Aribo would have been in trouble.
Kentucky Derby.
Hi, I'm Bridgman.
And I'm Linda from Rangers Radio.
As part of our club's 150-year celebrations, Rangers Radio are holding a charity race night on the 26th of March 2022 at the Wee Rangers Club outside Ibrox Stadium.
Listeners have the opportunity to attend by purchasing tables for groups of 15, priced at £225 per table. This includes a table buffet, live entertainment and a disco. There are also opportunities for businesses, supporters clubs and individuals to sponsor races and place advertisements within the event programme.
Listeners, including those unable to attend, can purchase tickets online for the Super 6 Races Booze Cruise, priced at £5, to win a super selection of quality spirits provided by the Rangers Radio panellists. Races will also be streamed live on Facebook.
Any listeners wishing to attend or become involved in sponsorship should contact rangersradio@gmail.com.
All monies raised will go to the Emmy Smiley Charity Foundation, the Rangers Supporters Erskine Appeal and the Robert Mulholland Memorial Parade.
We look forward to the Rangers Radio listeners' continued support for these great causes.
Down to the line, maximum security wins the Kentucky Derby, and then it was Country House second, followed by.
Right, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Fox. Thanks for playing by advert, starring Bridgman and Linda.
Brilliant.
Take 50.
I really need to contact folk that are running that, since it's businesses are getting advertisements in it.
Yes, you never know, mate. I'll tell you what, at the end of the season we might play the outtakes. That'll be good fun, Bridge, won't it?
I think that wee advert itself is fun.
Anyway, talking about people who's always on the ball, we'll be joined by Ian for YouTube. How we doing, Ian?
I'm alright, how you?
Good to hear from you, mate. How you keeping, brah?
Oh, no bad. Good usual good days, bad days, that's it. No, we'll go with the flow.
That result yesterday cheer you up?
Aye, especially the second half. I thought the first half, well, I don't know. They were more into the game. I thought for the first 15 minutes we were a wee bit kind of rocky and watching what we were doing. But I think the second half proved we're getting a lot better. And to be quite honest with you, the Roof goal and the Morelos goal, the two headers, I think was absolutely class. And they're boasting about Hearts and Hibs being the two unbeaten teams in the league, and that's why at the road. And now the next game's coming up, and we'll just sort them and up with them at the road. That'll be the Mobby. I was just going to ask you what you thought about this. I was reading about this Joe Rothwell. If there's anything true in that rumour about him maybe coming to Rangers, what do you think?
Who?
Rothwell, Joe Rothwell.
Is that the boy who plays with Blackburn Rovers?
Aye.
All right, mate. I know what you're talking about. It seems to be growing about arms and legs, but look, we don't know, mate. You just have to wait and see. Obviously, we're linked with hundreds of players. GB?
We're always looking. That's what the manager says. And even like I says, that boy that we're watching, Aaron Holland. So I think even Gerard said that they've got to spend money to keep progressing in the likes of Europe and stuff like that. So I've no doubt that, like I says, the manager's got a list of names waiting to go, mate. But it's all down to the money, mate. It's all down to whether we can go and spend the money to get them. You know what I mean?
I think he's supposed to be leaving in free. I was wondering why another midfielder.
Well, maybe you're looking at the fact that the age of Stephen Davis. You know what I think about Ian, about Stephen Davis, Ian. But obviously, there's a time wait for no man, as we all know. But Scotty Arfield's contract's up in the summer. We don't know. Ryan Jack hopefully will back. You don't know where that's going to take us. Hopefully he's back and fit, and that's him off and running. But you don't know. The boy, Nathaniel, off the board, I hope I've said that right. For Wickham, we're waiting to hear news on how he's keeping. So, are we lighting in there? Yeah. So, are we lighting players in there, you know what I mean?
Aye. And another thing, I thought Lundstrom played great yesterday. Everybody's been sort of having a go at him for a while. But it's like every other player you bring into a team, you've got to give him a bit of time. And I thought yesterday he played a really great game. And if he keeps it up, I mean, he's going to be a mainstay in that team because he really played well yesterday.
I agree. Bridgman?
Yeah, it's like yesterday, and there's a couple of games now, 2 or 3 games, and he's showing, to me, game on game, he's showing he's improving, and his awareness about the pitch now, you could see that in Sunday there. His awareness about the consciousness, where he is, and so on and so forth. There are still those crazy moments, and as it happens to everyone, you're running for a ball, and all of a sudden the ball bounces the wrong way for you, and it's over your head before you know it. So you get these moments in a bit. In general, his passing's a bit better, well, a lot better, should I say. It's just about how he finds the holes now in the defence. He's got to find a way through that defence and helping the forwards to create chances, you know. I think he's brilliant. Ian, I've said it for a long time now since I've first seen him. He's taking these small short steps. The manager that's it, and all of a sudden he's dropping them, and people are saying, including myself, what the hell's wrong? He's playing brilliantly. But you can see what's happening. Now look at him now. Now, I'll tell you what, I watched him playing, and I've been saying it all the way along the line. I would love him to play with Stephen Davis. Both of them would be really good. Really good for us. However, you wait now, you know, and see what happens. I thought the last 15 minutes of the game yesterday, I thought both of them were absolutely superb. Both of them.
I thought apart from now and again, Patterson making slight wee mistakes, I think it's just because he's so young. I mean, that ball for Roof was immaculate. Do you know what I mean? He was the only one yesterday that could cross a ball, and he got it spot on right on the Roof snapper, and for the first goal. And I think he should be playing more games as well.
I know the cross. I mean, I think you'll see Patterson there. I think the manager told you that after the game, GB. But I still think Tav's ahead of him in the pecking order. Yeah.
100%, mate. As much as he had a decent enough game yesterday, Lattis had a great view of the game yesterday, and like Patterson, there was times he was crossing the ball and it was just going to the other side of the pitch with nobody even sitting there, mate. He is young, and maybe more games will help him with that. We certain the understanding between him and Hadji yesterday was a bit painstaking at times as well. The two of them were arguing, not so much arguing with each other, but Hadji was screaming at him to say to him, look where I am, play the ball to me.
Give the ball.
There's times like that, but again, that comes with playing each other more and stuff like that. And as the manager said, but back to his press conference there, he's asking the players to trust him, and I think us as fans, we've been critical, which is totally understandable. But I think we need to trust the management team as well, because I think they are doing the right thing. If we're moaning about Tav's performances, sometimes maybe it is because he's getting used too much, and then now if he's got to get a wee rest, we bring him in, and then he's fit and powerful for us, rather than we keep draining him.
Can I just say on that point you mentioned about Patterson putting the ball in and it goes way wide? I think there's a lot to do with the coaching. And sometimes coaches turn in and say to the guys, it's not your problem whether anyone's there or no. You just put it into the far post, just for saying the far post, wherever you want to put it, and train up. Go on the training pitch, practice all that, and make sure it happens. So it becomes just by rote. When the ball gets to there and you're in that certain position, you chip it out to that level, and you can see maybe if you overhit it, it's too bad, But you can see that's what's happening a couple of times with the boy. But that one when he got it directly into where Roof was. So he's put the ball in, it's up to Roof to score. That kind of mentality. I think that's what's happening in the coaching. But I'm delighted.
It's what we've been missing, Ian and Bridge. I think. See when you see the two crosses, that's what we were doing last season, and that's what was getting us a lot of goals. Whereas this season, we've not been doing that, and it has hindered us big time. And whereas yesterday, even when Barisic's done that cross and we got ahead of ourselves, Barisic's turned into a total different player as well. It's all about confidence with him. We get him believing in himself again. That the crosses will keep coming, and you'll have that wee partnership that they've always had with Barisic and Alfredo. I mean, Alfredo used to eat up his crosses with scoring goals and stuff like that. So if we can get the two moving again together, that will help us going forward as well.
I think Barisic's problem, my personal opinion, is when he gets a couple of crosses in and they're not very good, I think his head gets down a wee bit. And
good point, Ian. Good point.
And he doesn't think that he's going to get any crosses out, so he just tries his best, and sort of the head gets down that wee bit.
What he's dealing with now is teams setting up to stop him crossing the ball. Because it's a powerful weapon, and he's got to learn. He's got to just move his game on a wee bit to counteract that,
I know, but it's no hard to kick a ball higher than everybody's head to get it into the box. I mean, a lot of crosses are hitting.
It is if somebody gets right close to you and blocks you crossing it.
Aye. I mean, you're getting a lot of crosses coming in, they're hitting folks' thighs, legs. I mean, you're going to cross a ball, you're wanting it way above their head, so it's going to come down somewhere. Even if the goalie's going to come out and get it.
Myself.
I'm only 5'6". I'll need a ladder.
I prefer them about thigh height.
Ian Barisic did do that right enough. He did blast it off one of the Hibs players in the first half, and I think the boy was holding the family jewels for a while there. So
I know he got frustrated.
He did. He's a confidence player. He is still my favourite for that position. But he's as soon as, like you says, that first half, I seen one of the coaching staff out to him, speaking to him and that, and telling him, look, focus kind of thing. And again, like I says, as soon as he started getting a wee bit more involved in the game, the confidence was building and stuff like that. He was a different player in the second half, and I'm a bit sad that we're going into an international break, because we always seem to get him. Even that Old Firm game, he had a cracking Old Firm game, and then we went into an international break, and then now we're going into an international break, so we're going to have to start with him again when we come back. So I feel sorry for him in that sense of things, but I just hope he understands and he believes in himself, because he is a top player. He is. I mean, you don't be a Croatian internationalist for no reason.
Oh, no. He's a fantastic player. I just think he's low in confidence at times, and when if he doesn't get good crosses in, or if he doesn't beat a man, it's sort of a, oh God, what am I going to do now attitude, and then he just sort of blotters it anywhere and loses his confidence, I think, anyway.
I think.
Sorry, on you go, Bridge.
No, I was just going to say, I think, I said this last week, I think it was a week before, that we've got Morelos, and if we're going to use Morelos, we have to have Morelos as a target, and we have to keep him as a target. At the moment, Morelos had a tremendous game yesterday, but a lot of that was coming in, picking the ball up and pushing it wide, and over to Patterson. These kind of things he was doing. Which we all want is when the ball goes into the box, you're wanting Morelos to be there to tap it in or head it in or whatever. Just so happened late on yesterday. But for the first half of that game, Morelos was only in there and he was outside the 6-yard box and things like that. So the ball wasn't coming to him the way it normally do. Whereas a year ago, all you need to do was push the ball into the box and Morelos would be there charging on for it, you know. So there's just something not right about the way it's set up. Is when you get people like Borna Barisic pushing balls in there, and all of a sudden they're not getting anybody, not getting near anyone. If you take the risk, if you could stop the screen just at that point in time, there isn't anybody there. You're actually passing it into the box, and there's nobody there sometimes. So there's weaknesses all over the place.
I think yesterday, Alfie, I gave Lundstrom man of the match, but I think Alfie ran him a close second, if I'm being honest. Obviously, he got the winning goal as well. And then Gary.
I think Morelos played great yesterday. He was moving about all over the place. Roof as well, mind you, when he came on. And Morelos was going backwards for that header turn. It was brilliant getting it in the net for the angle that he was going back the way. It wasn't a straightforward, like, right on header, straight in, you know. And I thought it was great. And then I had just missed. I was at my son ran the marathon in Angus yesterday.
Right. Okay.
So I stayed up in Montrose and I come for Airdrie. And so my son stays in Breaking. So we were through there and I missed that other half plane. And we were through there waiting for him coming through after doing his marathon, which he'd done in 4.5 hours. So I was so chuffed with my son yesterday. So when I came home, I seen the score and I thought, oh God, I've got a wee touch of COVID. You know what I mean? Catholic, overrated, vindictive, and indicated. You know what I mean?
You're a bad man, Ian. You're a bad man.
I'm a bad man, but I'm a nice bad man.
Are you giving all your muckers a shout on? Are you giving them all a shout out on YouTube?
Absolutely, if that's okay, aye.
Carry on.
RFC 56, Kim, Malky, Sid Barrett. Geez, oh man. I keep saying this every week. I need to write this down a bit of paper.
They'll know who you're talking about. All your muckers on YouTube.
Just everybody that's on YouTube, that's on this Rangers radio every night, the same as I am, and just hang in there, Bears. I mean, we've got 56 incoming, you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
It's going to be.
Some good patter in there in your YouTube lobby. You all keep each other on your toes.
Oh, okay, we'll blather away each other and see what we're up to and give our opinions on the game. And aye, I mean, as I've said before, this is Rangers radio is my lifeline every day for that 2 hours, because I've been bored stuff all day. I've been up the street doing some shopping and I'm going, man, it's only 5 o'clock. I've got 3 hours to go. And I'm killing time. So I was watching all Ranger repeats of Scud and the Celtic, the old games. I was passing the time watching that for 3 hours. So I had a big smile on my face before I phoned you. So,
is that what they call a blue movie, Ian?
Aye.
That's very good, that wasn't it?
Oh. Power porn. It's got porn. It's Protestants on the run and no bother.
Listen,
I've got to use that one.
It's always great to hear you, Ian. Always great to hear you. And if Rangers
Right.
Radio know about you and the people, the community you've started, I don't know what it is about.
Thanks a million. Thanks a million. And
Great to hear from you.
thanks a million to you on this programme, and thanks a million to everybody that I know on the Rangers Radio on YouTube, because it's absolutely brilliant. It's amazing. It's amazing listening to you, and it's an amazing programme, yeah, and well done.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. That means a lot. Seriously, done it, Bridge. It means a lot.
It does indeed. Ian, you're more than welcome. Get in here every night if you want, pal. You're more than welcome.
There's some nights I'm just on the comments and I don't feel like phoning in because I don't feel too well.
Sometimes you don't want to listen to us.
No,
Bridge is
sometimes I go like,
he phones in, but all he does is he goes on mute.
That's the best way to go. That's the best way to go.
Right,
hey, thanks a lot, lads. Thanks a million.
Brilliant.
I'll see you after. Thanks a lot.
Yes, mate.
Ta-ra, ta-ra.
Fantastic.
Cheers, Ian.
Cheerio.
Fantastic call. Fantastic. Fox has just sent me a message, Bridge. You'll not believe this. For the people that can't hear us on Facebook, tell them they could listen somewhere else. So how am I meant to do that?
Oh, make that announcement because I'm sure they'll hear you. Folks, what a shocker.
But if you're listening on the other social media platforms we're doing at the moment, remember you can always catch us on our own site with our own lobby with all the bears in it at rangersradio.online, where there's a player, you get better quality of sound, and there's a lobby there full of bears as well. Yeah, we're everywhere, GB, aren't we? We're everywhere.
And anyone, everywhere, anyone.
Yes. That, I must confess, I mean, it's only me, but I love when Ian phones in, and it means a lot. And if we can help people, I don't know. I think that's what we're all about, Bridget.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. We're all about that. Better believe it.
But he summed the game up quite well in there. I thought that Lundstrom at times had an excellent game yesterday. Showed potentially he's going to be an asset for us going forward, yeah? GB.
Yeah, Ox, like says he's, dare I say it, is he going to be taking over for Davis in that position, mate, long term? I'm not
Thanks
saying
for the call, GB. We'll speak to you soon.
I know Davis is your favourite, but like obviously with his age and stuff
What
like
about the boots, Steve?
I know. I think Ryan Jack's been stealing the same boots off him. I know. With some of his posts he's been putting up. But no, again, there was times that I've been saying on the show previous, Ox, about Lundstrom, where the Dunfermline game, he looked as though he was ready to come on to the tap game, and he was going to cement his position, and the next minute he would go away and play in Europe, and it would be absolutely shocking. But again, that's the last couple of games, he is starting to really cement that position, and he's been a standout player. So long may it continue, mate. Long may it continue. I was really surprised with the two up front working yesterday. There's been a few weeks that they've tried that and it just didn't work. We were saying about it on the show. So why do you think it actually worked yesterday? What was
10 men, one-way traffic, and we needed more bodies in the box. It was rope-a-dope. They were after about 60, 65 minutes, they had gone, Bridge, didn't they? You know, and it was just about getting that. It was just about opening up that, and we got them for a couple of crosses, you know. I think that's how it worked for me, GB. I don't think Roof and Morelos offer a lot of chemistry. They don't seem to. There doesn't seem to be. But you miss like looking at them, miss like never played as two up front together, Bridge.
That's right, and I think I've been saying along the lines of that. I would like to see them playing together, and just let's see how. But that might mean that the manager has to change to a different shape instead of going 4-3-3. Maybe go 4-1. up the top, like 4-4-3, would it be 4-3-1-2? I think that's where they go. I would love to see them two and see what they're like, because you've got a lot of pace and Roof, and a lot of guile and good shooting and things like that for Morelos. I think it'd be great for us. But we didn't even try it.
Felt Bacuna helped it a bit as well yesterday, Bridge. I felt with him gaining at his pace, it did allow Roof and Morelos to stay more up top.
Good point. Good point.
So I think if the two of them are going to play up there together, then we definitely need the likes of Ryan Kent, Scott Wright, Hadji. We need them to really be doing the running for them, to be putting in the kind of crosses and that.
I can't see it happening, mate. I don't think he's got his formation. That was just because of the circumstances of the game.
Aye. It's just something that we've been like moaning at the 4-3-3 no working. We need to try and think of something different. And game was due. He done that. He broke they done the two up front yesterday, and he changed it and it worked and stuff like that. But it's just,
and the base scored.
Aye. Mm-hmm. It's like you say, it could be a different game when it's 11-11, but it was good to see us thinking outside the box yesterday rather than just playing it constantly doing the wings. You know what I mean? We did actually drive in the box.
Here, just before we go to the tune, anybody wants any details on the race night, it's rangersradio@gmail.com, and we'll answer anything you want to ask us on the race night. Yeah, things are really starting to pick up and move on it, and we've only put it out for a week, so if you want any details, get in touch ASAP. That's all I can say on that. Right, aye, so good performance, good result. Be good to hear what the Bears think. We know that Facebook's doing, but come and join us. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Yep, aye, that's the number. Come and give us your thoughts. We've went for Lundstrom. We've all went for Lundstrom man of the match. Is that fair, guys?
Yeah, mate. Standout player yesterday, mate.
In your posh seats watching the game.
Oh, mate. Should have seen it. I had leg room and everything, mate. Access to good toilets and a good beverage at half time and everything. I couldn't have asked for better, mate.
Braggart.
No, it was the Braga we were playing. It was Hibs.
Aye, Hibs.
No sense.
Right, get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune.
Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. When McAvenny scored the first, the beggars thought it was the first of many. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. It didn't take long to realise when Super Ali equalised. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then up stepped Super A. It was a 30-yarder all the way. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then Andrews claimed he couldn't see when Super Ali made it 3. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. The Ibrox fans, well, they wanted more when Kevin Drinkle made it 4. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when the Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, Ibrox Park, it came alive when the bold Mark Walters, he made it 5. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. said to his wife, the Celtic are shite, oh Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews, oh Rangers, you got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Ah, Jody, always good to hear from Jody.
Cha-cha.
Yep. I think we could do that, Bridge, me and you. Yeah. We could
You
do
got
that.
me singing the blues.
Backup singers for the race night.
Oof, somebody will not be fit.
Is that because you're near the bar?
Always, mate, always. I think we've been joined by William. How are we doing, William?
Hello, Ox. Good evening. Evening, brothers.
Good to hear from you, mate. All right?
Aye, it's good. I'm in a good mood tonight.
Good, mate. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm delighted with yesterday's result.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was our best 90 minutes of the season.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't accept this. That was all Hibs the first 30 minutes. I don't accept that. Not at all. I think we started well. They scored a good goal for their point of view. Terrible for your point of view. I thought, everybody's saying, oh, it was all Hibs and it's all the sending off. No for me. When I saw the team, I was quite happy with the team.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I want to see Lundstrom in the middle of the park because there's going to need to be some tough tackling in there. And I think when he needs to tough tackle, he can tough tackle. And they'll know what he's all about. And I think the fact that he changed the team as much, I think Hibs might have been a bit surprised. It might not just have been set up to play against that kind of team. Kind of, especially Tavernier, they might have been surprised with that.
Aye, I think you're right there. I think we all assumed that Tab would be playing it.
Mm-hmm. I think the red card is an absolute red card all day long. It's a shocking tackle. Absolute shocker.
Yeah.
I think Jack Ross is in denial. I think he's trying to stick up. He's trying to side with his boys, trying to stick up for his player. And I think that he blew it. His bottle crashed. When Porteous got sent off, he substituted his playmaker, Scott Allen. That's his playmaker. And that was him finish for the day as far as I was delighted to see him go. And quite a few years, last Friday, I think, on the board, quite a few years predicted that Porteous would get a red card.
All right, so you got it right.
That's just the way he is against us. I don't know what it is with the boy, but that's the way he is.
I don't think it's just against us, mate. He plays that's the way he plays on the line all the time. For him, he's got pace, he's got power, he's got a bit of ability. So he's 22 years of age, and he's got to learn,
Right.
But listen, I've no sympathy for him,
No, not at all.
No, none. Who you give Lundstrom man of the match, William?
Absolutely. I thought that setting aside their goal, I thought Golson and Balogun did a great job against Boyle.
He wasn't in the game much, was he?
That's right. He was never in the game. They played him out the game. They did a great job because he's a flying machine.
The more effective of the two was the boy Nisbet.
Aye. I think he's a bit smarter. Boyle, for me, he's all about pace. The boy Nisbet, he's got a bit of brains. Football knowledge. He's quite clever on it. As goal scorers are.
Aye.
He should never have been allowed to score that goal. Absolutely schoolboy defending. When you look at it, Lundstrom tries to header it, he just misses it. What are the other two doing? Balogun and Golson, what are they doing?
For me, it was Golson's ball. The ball, obviously, I also think young Patterson could have come in and closed the space past him on instead of chasing Boyle. And also, I think Lundstrom could have helped influence it as well. But Bonner could have stopped the cross coming in as well, GB, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Aye, it was Bornos to stop right away. He was next to him. All he had to do was speed up a bit more to shut him down. And even after the goal went in, McGregor was shouting across to Borna, saying to him, "What you doing?" kind of thing. So, and that's when we were talking earlier. That's when Borna's kind of confidence went down a bit because the heat went down. And that's what the team themselves need to watch with him. They need to try and keep him G'd up a bit because we can't have a guy with his head down, not in a big game like that. But no, it could have been. There was a few mistakes within that goal, but you can't take away the boy's header. He nailed it. I mean, he got up high enough and he put it right in the back corner. So it's just one of the ones. It was a sucker punch at the time because I honestly didn't see it coming because we were playing well. We were playing good controlling football. But it was a good character reaction phase, especially sitting 1-0 down. I know that we had the red card and stuff like that, but we still had to go out there and score 2 goals against them, and they were sitting with a bank of 5. They went to 5 at the back against us for the rest of the game, so they were making it clear what they were going to do. They were going to try and soak it up and then try and hit us in the counter. And I think the stats even said that they only had one in target. Ox, I don't know. You're usually the man with the stats, but
they're only 23% of the ball. You know, I'm with William. I thought Hibs had about maybe 5 minutes, maybe a wee bit longer after they scored the goal. We were a wee bit at 6s and 7s, and then slow as the half and a half, or we started coming into it. William, You know,
see, if you look at when we scored the goal, the first goal, the ball gets played. It's a great ball in, and it's an absolute free header for Roof. By that time, even then, they were really tired. You know, they were like statues when that ball. I mean, that ball just floated across, and they were just stood there. And Roof, you know, he could have recited the Gettysburg Address and then headed the ball in so much time and space.
You're fair, but he still had to finish it, didn't he?
Oh, aye, he still got to finish it, and that keeper was playing well. I mean, the shot he saved for Hadji, God, 73 minutes. I had that counted. I thought it was a goal.
That was a good effort. Good effort. That boy's 6'7", their goalkeeper. 6'7".
5'19".
Aye, exactly.
Did you hear? Were any of the panel listening to on TV Kevin Thompson's comments?
I was.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what he said after Porteous put that tackle in?
He basically said he's got to learn. Huh?
He said he's a great lad. I love him to bits. That's what he said. I couldn't believe it. I said, I nearly fell through my chair. And then when we scored the second goal, he said, "You've got to feel for Jack Ross." That's what he said. I'm saying, what am I watching here?
You've got to remember he's been a Hibs player for a
I know that.
For a while, you know, so there's a lot of affinity there. You know?
We don't want to hear that in Rangers TV.
Oh, he's got to remember who's paying him for the day.
That's it.
No, I don't mean
I was shocked at that. I was absolutely shocked.
That's where he came from, you know. So, but he's a dyed-in-the-wool Ranger now.
Aye, but he shouldn't be saying that in Rangers TV.
I don't disagree.
I love the boy to bits, you know. And then you've got to feel for Jack Ross. What? No, don't think so.
He's going to make a lot of enemies, isn't he?
I don't think so.
To be fair though, I think our manager said it as well, and I don't know if it's a bit of a wind up, like they're highlighting us. You know, that's a shame for Jack Ross what he's done, and all that. Now laying it on thick kind of thing, and it'll just rile their fans more, knowing that it's their player that's caused that kind of thing. Whereas if they don't say anything about it, kind of this gets forgotten about. Whereas if they're highlighting it, and like what it says, Gerrard highlighting it, saying that he went and let his teammates down, he let his manager down, so they're not saying
that. To put it onto the referee.
Aye,
they always will, mate. They always will. Gerrard,
they're trying to say that referee cost him 3 points, and that's the worst tackle I think I've seen this season.
If one of the players had made that tackle, Gerrard would say, "Great red." He wouldn't be arguing.
Aye.
He's too classy an individual.
That's exactly right.
You know. So you had Lundstrom. Who else shone for you yesterday, William?
Well, as I said, I felt that setting the goal aside, you know, I was really happy with it because you're worried about Boyle because he's an absolute flying machine.
Aye.
So I'm really happy in that respect. Hadji was going to in and out the game, as was Wright. Right, I mean, he'd Atty McGinn. You know, Atty McGinn couldn't live with him. And he could have cost McGinn his place on the pitch. Really. Thought he caught him out a few times. McGinn had to do the dirty. And McGinn also caught Roof. I think it was McGinn that caught Roof as he went to shoot. I think he was just outside the area later on in the game. He went to shoot and he just put his foot in and caught him. And the referee just ran away. Going, what?
Aye, that was a penalty claim. That was. Aye, that's right.
It was just outside the area, to be honest. I think it was, but it was a clear foul. I mean, it's obstruction. Obstruction with bodily contact, a direct free kick. If you're in the area, it's a penalty. You know.
Aye. It was just outside the box for me, and how he missed that, I don't know. It was so blatant, wasn't it?
Aye, unbelievable. McGregor, you know. Oh, McGregor, one save to make all day. He must have been so fed up. I don't know what he was doing for the rest of the game. Really.
Well, Alan McGregor's new dyed hair and Stephen Davis's new boots. I think they're trying to do a youth phase to get another 5-year deal.
Big changes afoot. Griggs' black hair, brilliant.
Maybe that's since we've got a player called Fashion, you know, it's catching on.
That's a brilliant, well said, William. Well said.
I think, to be fair in Gerrard, his substitutions were quite bold yesterday, GB, and obviously he was looking to bring on, I think Tav and Sakala were coming on when we scored the goals.
Aye, and for him to tell Tav to sit back down, your captain, I mean, it is a brave call, and it was even not having Tav in the team for the very start was a brave call yesterday, putting Patterson into that, but again, as he said in his presser, that he's asking the players to trust him, because it sounds to me as if the players have been maybe questioning some of his decisions and stuff like that. So he's asking them to trust him, and it's probably looking at it as a whole. I think we need to kind of trust him as well, because we've been questioning a lot of it, and rightly so. But when he rhymes it all off in the interviews that we all love, it does make you sit back and realise that maybe you've got a point, because at the end of the day we've went into 2 international breaks, top of the league. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, well, we've also got 23 is Michael Peel involved in a spat on Twitter. He should still give me a phone, I'll help him. You know, better never stop, Michael. Give me a phone. And 47 games, 1 defeat. It's not a bad record. And then 23 home games, we've drew 1. We can't argue, can we really, you know? No. In the league, William, then Bridge.
No, I think when we look at the big picture, it's absolutely tremendous. It's much better than ever we could have hoped for. Absolutely amazing. I think that when you hear Gerrard, like last week, I think he got a wee bit upset with one of the journalists last week, because, you know, it was terrible last week. And I think that what he's saying to the players behind closed doors is not what he's saying in the press conference. I'm quite sure of that. I think when he goes in there, and if he's not happy with how a player's performed, he'll be telling them. But he's not going to, you know, he's not going to say that in public, you know. And I think with his team selection yesterday, he decided, right, it's time to be ruthless. Because there's times when we felt Tavernier might have been dropped, and he hadn't been, and he was just ruthless yesterday. He said, right, that's it, six, I'm making 6 changes. That's it. And I think he's told them, right, I want you to get there, and I want you to work as hard as you can work. You know, that's how it's going to be. We've got to win this game. We're going into this break, top of the league, and nothing else. Apart from that, we'll love to beat Hibs anyway.
Aye, of course. Of course, we
I absolutely love to beat them. They've got ideas above their station.
Many times we heard that.
I think we'll stroll the league. I think the big battle is going to be for teams trying to get in the top 6 and know the mid-table teams.
Retain the top 6. Retain the top 6 position. Absolutely, yeah.
I'll take Boyle on this, but the Hibs team, what have they got?
Well, just workman like Alan. The boy Alan can spot a pass, can't he? Whether you like or no.
That's true. He's a playmaker, as I say. He's definitely a playmaker. He's a danger. He can spot a pass. He can pick a pass. Absolutely. He was pleased at getting substituted, wasn't he? You know,
I know he was raging.
You see Alan when he turned round, the shape of the Celtic bench still on his backside.
The boy will regret that today, Dave.
You know, the strangest thing about that was when the boy was going off, Porteous was going off. The last person to shake his hand was Alan.
It was a bit of a slap. Did you know it was a bit of a slap?
One of his handshake things, you know. And all of a sudden, he's the next one after the park. I thought that was brilliant, by the way.
No, Prince, you've got that rang. He said, "Do us a favour, put me some hot water in the bath for us."
Oh, there you go. You know this thing about Patterson and their manager picking him to play. I think it's all about the boy. I think the manager's put him in there to get for the Scotland game. You know, he's got a big Scotland coming and hoping he gets picked to further his career, blah blah blah, and to raise his profile. I think he played him against Hibs. Biggest actually, that could honestly be the biggest game of the season, of the whole season, all the way through. You know, including the Celtic game, that could have been the biggest game. Rangers versus Hibs at Ibrox, because Hibs are flying high and they're going to beat us, and so on and so forth. And really and truly, I thought the manager had a very brave decision. Decided to go with him, thinking, well, if it goes wrong, I can get him out at half time. But no, he stayed on, and I thought he'd done excellently well. For a youngster, excellently well. Get there, young man.
Well said, Bridge.
Aye. Listen, there's many in Nathan Patterson, you know, just let him quietly learn his trade, and we could have something special in our hands if he kicks to the next level, will you?
Yeah, I think you could see his decision making sometimes is just it's not quite right. I think he's got pace, he can defend. You know, he's young and he's got a big heart. I'll say he's got a big heart. I think he plays for the jersey. But you can see he's got a lot to learn.
I agree. I still don't think he's quite ahead of Tav yet, but he's coming. He's coming, you know. And he's one of our own. So I just looked at Tav. You know, this is his 7th seasons with his GB. You know, and obviously he's played 301 games now. It's remarkable, really, isn't it?
He's been a great servant, mate. He's stuck it out right through the bad times and that. And I think the managing team and that are doing the right thing. There's been times where he's came on and he's just not looked himself, and maybe they're starting to see that he's. I think you mentioned that about the going to the well too many times and that, and maybe this is what we need. Maybe we need to freshen the players up a bit, because look at when we swapped out Kamara and Aribo yesterday. We put Bacuna on and that. Like I says, it did give us a wee bit more of a life in there. And maybe this is what we need to do. Maybe we give these guys a chance and help the team. You know what I mean? Because there is a big squad there to be used. So hopefully this international break will actually do as well, mate.
Bacuna in the team at the moment. He showed glimpses. He showed a turn of pace that I don't think we knew he had. I'll say this in this, no, in a nasty way. I'll say the jury's still out. We've not seen enough of him to judge, William.
Absolutely agree with that. I think he's a wee bit of the Jack the Lad. You know, he's committing, trying to do fancy tricks, you know, and I don't think he's quite grasped the seriousness and the size of the club that he's playing for. But I think there's definitely a player there, aye. But as we were told at the start, you know, you got to, you know, if you can get a grip of his head, sort of thing, there's definitely a player in there. He's got a wee bit of an attitude, you know. He can have a wee bit of an attitude, and that's just what you see when he's on the park. But there's flashes of a real player there, without a doubt. I felt that I think Kamara and Aribo, you know, with Kamara with the carry on in Czech Republic, and Aribo with that tackle yesterday, that, you know, that can have an effect on your mental health. A tackle like that, it can actually affect all the players. Sometimes a tackle like that, it can just totally ruin the game. Players don't want to get into tackles after seeing that. You know, I've seen that.
I think we do too. I think Kamara, if I'm being honest, William, and I'll take this round to the other two boys as well. I'm a big fan of Glenn Kamara. I think he's got a lot of ability. He showed a couple of times glimpses in the first half, a couple of dummies he done. It's the stuff's there, and he makes the game look so easy when he's playing well. I just think he looks a bit jaded. And obviously, he's just come back for the Euros, and he's not a lot of rest. GB.
Yeah, Ox, I agree, mate. I noticed when he was getting taken off the park yesterday, he was looking knackered. His arms were down by his side, and it was just basically as if he was dragging his arms off. You know what I mean? It was him and Aribo have been in that squad most weeks, week in, week out. And when the day's any harm, if we can actually, like I says, give them a rest, and like I says, if we give them the rest that they need, and they come back in, and Aribo produces the performances like Braga, the goals that he scores, like in for the left and stuff like that, if he brings that back to him, and then like I says, Glenn as well has been looking really, really slow, and yet last season he had really good pace and turn on him, and like you says, he did show glimpses of that yesterday, but again towards the end of the second half, the two of them they burnt themselves out, and I think Gerard done the right thing getting them off. And if the coaching staff are seeing that and they're asking them to keep going, then there's only going to be one outcome. We're going to have a tired midfield, whereas we've got hungry players there ready to come on. May as well give them their chance.
Well, I get your point, but Bacuna showed glimpses yesterday. I don't know if you noticed, sitting in your dear seat yesterday, did you see the manager having a go at him at the NGB and pointing out when he was showboating down in front of the Copeland and the Sandy Jardin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, sorry, JB, sorry.
No, you're all right, Bridge. No, it was just that's what I'm saying. It's the where I give Alfie's credit. That's the thing he's brought to his game, the game management side. Whereas again, like you said, Bacuna was getting shouted at to control the ball and keep it up there. Whereas
just kick it off him, not the nutmeg, just kick it off him.
Exactly. That's exactly. I can imagine what the manager was saying, because having a manager telling me the same kind of things, stop showboating and things like that.
The only
showboating to the players that can play football.
William, the only showboating he did was when he managed to kick the guy twice before he landed.
Keep you uppy. Can't get the man get the ball.
Oh dear.
Was it the Cruyff turns, Bridgeman? The Cruyff turns?
Cruyff turns, yeah. I couldn't even spell it. There you go. I have to tell you that I was laughing myself with that nonsense with the boy. I can't remember what's his name again.
Bacuna,
right. I think he's going to be a great player for us. I have to be honest and say it. But once he gets to these situations, he doesn't seem to gauge where he is and what he's doing and why he's there, and he doesn't realise the time. And he's sometimes you've got plenty of time, and he can just stroll down to the line if he wanted, just keep hold of the ball, and then he tries these silly things like coming back and trying to beat the guy, and before you know it, he's lost the ball completely, and Rangers have lost the position. And where to go? And that can't happen. We can't allow that to happen too much. Keep the ball or play it off him. Simple as that.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Just a question now that we've obviously came to this next international break. Like, as you as a manager, for talking sex, what would you be saying to the squad now that's that kind of second part of the season done?
Nothing. I was just walked in there yesterday. Most of them are going away in international duty, aren't they? A lot of them are. The other ones, I would say, I'll see you. Well, he'll not see them. Stevie G will go away for a week now, I would imagine, with his family and that back down. But what do you call it? He'll start getting the squad together possibly next Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of rest involved. Maybe someone will just be taking over depending what injuries they've got, etc. He'll not say much. He'll say his piece yesterday. He's delighted, and then it'll all be over to the sports scientists and the fitness guys to get them to where they've got to be for about next Tuesday before you start looking at the Hearts game William, any thoughts?
I think, there's a lot of planning involved, isn't there? There's an awful lot of planning and taking into account the players and how many games they've played and how they're looking in training and how far they're travelling and if they're playing or if they're not playing, things like that, and how they get on in their game, if they have a hard game or, whatever. There's just a lot to take into account.
I did enjoy the bit of passion that he showed yesterday. Me personally, I've missed that film. I'm not saying for him to turn up and do that every week after every win we have, but it was a good moment. He picked the right moment to show it again. Yesterday, I think it was a good end to a hard period for the team, and I think we all needed that kind of. Yes, we've made it through that kind of tough spell. Let's regroup and go again after the international break, kind of thing.
That was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The crowd that were left in the stadium loved every second of it. The manager going round there, running round, and when he went and got hold of Roof was so pleased. He was doing his own lap of honour and things like that. I thought that was fabulous. And the manager ran round. I think it's great. And he could do that every week if he wanted.
Showed his emotion. He'll be. I reckon the manager will be away on a sabbatical with his family at the moment. As I said, Bridgman and the fitness guys, most of them will be after about Wednesday, I would imagine. And then the guys that's got knocks or programs or things they've got to deal with, they'll start dealing with them about Wednesday. A lot of them will get more time after maybe next Monday, I would think. Then they start building up on Tuesday to the Hearts game.
Well said.
Another crucial period coming up, Fox, then, you think?
Yes.
This next period will be another big push.
Remember, we've got 2 weeks to kill, not just one night, yeah?
Well, I'll be on maternity leave, mate, so it's all over to you.
I was going to announce that, mate, but if you want to let the cat out of the bag, mate, I've spoke to Fox, and he's guaranteed he'll keep you on the same rate of pay while you're off.
Oh, no, I'm objecting to that.
Good man.
Hello.
This is a first for Rangers Radio. One of our panelists is going on paternity leave, no maternity. There is a difference.
I'm glad I signed that contract, mate. Away at the start.
So Gary's better half is going to be. It'll be a boy or a girl. It'll be out of the world the next few weeks or so. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Next week at some point, hopefully, the wee Ian will be here. So from this week onwards, this will be my signing off night for my maternity leave for about 2 weeks, bud.
Would you make it up, Bridgman? That's when you know you're committed, when you get the baby born during the international break, innit?
And by the way, that's brilliant timing. Well done to you and her. You got that very well, pal. Brilliant.
Good planning, good lockdown planning, mate. It was.
Did you see that message, you Fox?
Fox has just sent your message.
On your baby.
Fox will be saying, "Who's the daddy, GB? Who's the daddy?"
Well, by the way, it better look like me when it pops out, that's for sure.
If he comes out with his hair on, you know it's Fox, huh?
Yeah, aye, and a smooth look as well. Smooth look on him.
Right, okay, but listen, mate, first and foremost, I hope everything goes well for you. And the mother and baby are all healthy and fine. That's the most important thing, yeah? And I hope your young daughter, I know she's bursting, just can't wait. So I hope she enjoys it and everybody's safe and well and you get your life back together when you get back to a bit of normality. So we'll see you in about 16 years' time, mate, all right?
Aye, cheers for the uplift.
That's going to be something at my paternity leave, I'll tell you.
Maybe it'll be 16 in a row. You never know.
Oh, but a bit of luck. Definitely.
No, I'm sure. That's the first on Rangers Radio. I think you're the one that's still got it in them. It's on the show, know what I mean? Oh, brilliant. And enjoy. As I said, I hope everybody's safe and healthy. That's the most important thing, yeah? And
we all do that.
brilliant.
Absolutely, we all do
that's
that.
That's another wee blue nose on the way.
It is that, and like I say, and thanks to the show for the support and all that. I do appreciate it, lads. It's brilliant. You'll be the first to know. You'll be the first to know. Don't worry.
I'm sure we will. Yeah, I'm sure we will. Right, okay. Big 3 points for us yesterday, William.
Great. Aye.
That was a big 3.
Absolutely. As I say, I think it was our best performance of the season.
I agree with that.
I think it's the hardest we've worked all season.
And in times, I know we're playing against 10 men, we don't want to go overboard, but at times in the second half, we moved the ball pretty well, yeah?
Oh, we did. I think we were just totally in command. 20 shots. I mean,
only 3 in target, but some of
that's
Lundstrom.
That's really poor.
Sort of Lundstrom shooting, you work on that. I think we've been joined by Angus. Evening, Angus.
Good evening, guys. How are we?
How we doing, mate? Nice to hear from you, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So, evening, guys. I was just going to phone in and ask. I would say I'm a glass half full sort of supporter.
Right,
and
okay.
wanted to know if the panel would share my opinion that despite a lot of difficulties, we have found ourselves in a good position after 8 games. In the Invincible League campaign of 2020-21, we managed to get 20 out of 24 points. This season, we have 19 out of 24 points after 8 games. I thought yesterday was a huge game against our nearest rivals that play in green and white. And after the international break, hopefully Ryan Kent will be close to a turn and Ryan Jack will be further along the line of being fully fit. Just wanted to know what you guys thought of that.
Great points, yeah. I mean, you can't have your best season ever every year, and we're no far away from that total. GB.
Yeah, Angus, great points, mate. It just shows you into one point of difference between last season where we thought were like absolutely unbeatable, mate. And then this season we've questioned a lot of the games and how the team's set up and stuff like that, and yet we're still only a point of difference. For me, in a way, it's a great place to be in because we've not even hit our top gear, yet we're still top of the league. So coming back into this after this international break, I'm hoping that this will be the time where we'll start showing our form. Maybe this has been our kind of wee dip now, and now we can get rid of that and then push on to Christmas at least anyway, mate.
Angus, you want to come back before I go to Bridge?
Yeah, no, I just totally agree. And it was probably, last season was an extraordinary season. And it's not often that you can follow that up by reaching the same heights and standards. And with a lot of injuries and COVID and things like that, we're going to struggle to get close to that.
Bridgeman.
Angus, the first 3 seasons that Mr. Gerrard's been with us, we've improved every season, particularly in the European area. We've done really well. In the league, we've let ourselves down a couple of times with some daft situations, particularly coming back from Dubai and no kicking a ball, if you thought. I mean, that kind of situation. Other than that, I think we could have easily won any of those titles, anyone, since he came in. I think he's been brilliant. The manager has chased. The 3 Celtic managers have gone. In fact, 4 if you count the big fella, John Kennedy. So Mr. Gerrard's come in. He's chased out what's his name, the golden one, and went down to the Leicester City. He faced his first. No, sorry, it was his second Old Firm game, and he got leathered at Ibrox, the Gerrard's team. And there you go. There was a tutor teaching the pupil teaching the tutor. Unbelievable stuff. He couldn't cope with that. He went away. We've chased Lennon away. We've chased John Kennedy away. It's just wonderful. And this guy here, this Australian guy is with him now, he better watch out too because he may end up going as well. So I think under this man, we've improved no end. It was what we saw yesterday was we drifted for a month or 2 there. We weren't getting the greatest out of the team, but we were still sitting top of the league. And yesterday, to me, was a turning point from a form perspective. And it looks really good for us. I think it looks really good for us going forward. We're 6 points clear of them in the league, and we're 1 point clear of Hearts. And the next game we play in the league is against Hearts at Ibrox. And hopefully, we're going to take care of them, and then we'll be away clear. We'll be at least 3 points clear in the league. And that's what I want. Get in there.
Yeah, well, when we beat Hearts, we go, potentially maybe more. I think we'll be joined by a caller. I'm not sure. It might be Andy. How we doing, Andy?
Good evening. Good evening, guys. Good show again, right enough. By the way, just a wee answer to your wee message you sent there. Don't worry about how far the table's away. That's what overcoats are for. There'll be 2 bottles inside each pocket.
I can assure you, with the people will be searching you getting in that night, you've no chance of getting in with any of that, mate.
All right, okay.
Don't even think about it. Yeah.
Hey, listen, Ox, I can pay for my own drink. Don't worry about that.
They call them the Mitchell sisters.
The Mitchell sisters.
I tell you what, I went into YouTube tonight, because obviously Facebook and all that.
Facebook's still doing it, Andy, is it?
Oh, it's still doing that. Hey, I'll tell you what, if you thought James was brutal, there's a couple of guys in there that just come in. You swallowed me up there from start to finish. So I thought, right, I'm going to come in and have a wee thing natter about the Rangers, you know.
Have you been getting it tight in there, have you?
Oh, Kelso and Blue, right enough, you know. Like, I've been trying to play with him, like, but I kind of had me tonight, so I'm just doing a wee bit of studying, like, you know.
Did you like the reply you got?
Oh, yeah, yes, I did it. Well, my lady got it on her phone, like, and she was on the top of the stair pissing herself. Yeah, it was a good one. I said, read that out again. What did he say there? So, good, and I liked the reply. Very, very good. Put me in a good frame of mind tonight, right enough. But I'd like to think after that show of emotion for Stevie Gerrard, that the players that have been struggling now and that take a lead off him and really knuckle down to and go after him. If it's a slight concern, not trying to be funny or putting a damper on it, I would have liked to see Stevie doing that when we're winning trophies and all that. Because I'm thinking back to when he did that, when we beat them up at the Pedo Dome, and then the players all let him down. So I'd like to think that we can take it on another third. Part of the learning curve, isn't it, really? Let's see if the players will embrace how Stevie Gerrard, all the players were doing it as well. I like the wee boy Patterson's reaction to the crowd as well. So that was great. We all looked on the same page, didn't we, after that?
I think, listen, we know we've not been playing well. I think Angus summed it up nicely. We're not far away from a record season. We go in a few more wins, we're getting close to that. It's unbelievable. But we know the performances haven't been great, but we're still sitting clear at the top of the league. We play the team that's next to us at home, our next home game. We could go 4 points clear of them after the next home game. So, as Michael Beale says, and I know we're being critical of some of the performances, some of the tactics that we only critique what we see, we're still in a better place than we ever were before Stevie G walked in the door, Andy.
Oh, we're out of doubt. There's no doubt about that. We just critique over what we see and all that. You know, I've said that before. Like, you know, I'll come on and say what I feel like, but anybody outside of my Rangers family criticise the Rangers, I'm wanting to take them out, right? But it's just the way it is, isn't it? You know, you want to see them doing well. I mean, you know, you look at where we are now, what we've been through. Let's say the stats that you put out there the other night. You know, 6 points in front of them. Come on, mate. Can't complain, like, but I think that's just me. I'm just a moaning old bugger as I get older, right enough. You know, I want perfection, like, you know.
I've never noticed that, GB.
Not at all, mate. Especially, are you feeling lunchroom again?
Oh, listen, chins and that yesterday, right? They're coming at me, right? I'm just going to sit here, Gary. Right? I'm just going to sit here. They've been firing them all last night and all day, man. I tell you, left me in peace. I had a terrible day at work. Like, I was getting kind of crabbit with them, like, you know, real crabbit. There was no laughing and emojis going there.
All right. I'll skip by you, GB. William.
Hello.
We are critical on our team, but it's only because we care.
That's it. I mean, we're passionate, and I mean, last season I think it really raised our hopes and our expectations, and I think we knew what happened. It was just incredible, and the team played that well, and everything just went for us. And apart from the cups, obviously, but we went to that league, and that's what we got, and that was it. But I just feel that that I think we knew within ourselves that this season was going to be. It'd be impossible to match last season. Okay, you go and win the league, but it was such a disappointment when we lost that game at Dundee United. I think we thought we were going to go for years without getting beat. Crazy. That's how we are. That's just how passionate we are.
Aye, we are passionate. We care and we're critical, but I think you can't. If you're not playing well, you can't say you're playing well, Angus, can you? You've got to be honest.
No, and I think that we've maybe suffered a bit of a hangover after the Malmo game, and we probably in the background we're maybe planning to think, well, if we get into the Champions League, we can buy such and such, and I think Joey Veerman was very much touted as someone we were going to bring in, and now because we didn't get into the Champions League, there is a bit of a hangover, and we've had to lower expectations and. It's just probably getting the sort of fine-tuning the sort of attitude of the sort of players and getting everyone back on course, because it's a very important season this season.
Yeah. It's a good point you make. I'll take you to my hangover expert, Andy.
Yeah, I think that. I've said that every night at the start of the season. I thought it would be a year that we'd struggle in Europe. Definitely had a big kick on getting knocked out of Malmo there. Obviously, the stuff that's Conor Langley out there. But there's great things here. Listen, we're never going to do it. We're never going to go all the way to a UEFA final like we did before, especially with the position we're in now. But if we win this league, we'll win far. We'll get far more money next year. We're not even having to qualify on what we do if we do well in this. So it might be a case of playing a wee bit patient here, making sure that you cement that league, and hopefully the two trophies around them, because we've got to start doing that as well. So, like you said, like I said, I just want the best for Rangers. You think the world of them, don't you? I mean, it spoils you all weekend if you get beat or whatever it is, and so you just want them to do well. And hopefully, now, I watching that after the game, felt your heart with pride, but I just thought, Christ, we do. But he did come in his press conference and say, look, it's only get so many games in. So I did like that, and I liked even Adji, he was going nuts as well, after the game. So if they impart that after they come back after the international break and going with that attitude and that will to win, and because it doesn't matter that they went down to 10 men, we still need to come back for 1-0 down. So we kept going there, on that side of it, and that was positive. They may have felt sorry for themselves a wee bit, and
never seen that yesterday. We try to get in the front foot, but obviously there was times when we weren't great. Even yesterday, passes went astray, wasn't they? But we've also got to remember that I know they weren't all playing, but we had a game on Thursday as well, coming back to a game on Sunday. They had all week to set up for that game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I mean, that's good. It was great, taking them out like we did there at the back end and seeing that, gives you that wee buzz on it here. Come on, let's have them, And if we can sort Hearts out after the break there, we're in a fantastic position. That's what I said. Win the next 3 league games, and then we go on. If we beat Hearts, we go on to play the Sheep, and if we can do that, which saw a bit of them right there, Christ. I know they left their game for us, but that's the worst Aberdeen team I've ever seen in a long time. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Well, they're all celebrating doing a lap of one, and Aberdeen have been winning. I think it's 9 games now, 1 draw and 8 defeats. So they're in form, Aberdeen GB. Yeah?
Oh, aye, mate, aye. They're definitely the new look Aberdeen squad, that's for sure. Mate, Ox, you make a great point there about how Hibs had a full week there to prepare for that game. Another sign of our character as a team. That, everybody says that it's a sign of champions and stuff like that. I think seasons gone by, these kind of games going behind against Hibs and stuff like that would have probably smothered it to maybe a draw. But it just shows you that again, the team are no lying down. Even the form maybe been off, we're still fighting. We're still trying to get that win, and we're getting there the line now. So, as much as we say sometimes we don't see the champions there, the team are certainly, they're grinding out these results now, and the character that you're seeing in the team, it's good to see that they're all sticking together. Sometimes teams in the past maybe 40 bits, but I'm really, really chuffed that they are sticking together, and I think the passion burst out yesterday, especially this is with the manager. But as Andy said there, you had Hadji, Patterson, Roof, Barisic and all that. They were all walking around the park soaking it in, and I'm glad that they got that, because I think that'll give them the energy to come back after the international break and push on for us.
Aye, I see what you're saying. Aye. It's all about momentum sometimes, and we're going to look as the fortnight goes on when we've no football. We're maybe going to look at the next 6 games, but it's all about baby steps, Bridgeman, and then you hopefully extend your lead if you keep winning. Bridge, last call for Bridge. Right, okay.
Sleeping.
Sorry, I'm trying to wait you there. I do apologise. Okay, I just say, no, you're right. We need to keep winning. That was a massive game for us just there at the weekend. We're going to have a nice wee break, or the players are going to get a nice wee break. We're going to be chewing our nails, desperate to see our team again. But when they come back, we're hoping that we just carry on or get even better, lift ourselves and just motor on, get to Christmas, New Year, and win all our games. And then that puts the ball in the States for everybody else. So we need to keep doing it, because they're the people that will take it after us if we don't watch. You know? So we need to do it. 100%.
Aye. And I'll go to William and Angus. I thought we got out of second gear and maybe go towards third, but I still think there's more gears to come. William, then Angus.
Absolutely, we can play better than we did yesterday, but I think, you saw a kind of release for Gerrard at the end of the game yesterday, because I think that he made changes and he gave instructions at half time, and I think everything just came together, and we just dominated that second half so much, and we got the result that we really deserved. And I think he just felt, I've done my job today, and the players have reacted, and it's just magic, That's just what we want. It's just what we need. Top of the table, top of the table clash. It's just what we needed.
And I would say that the exciting thing is we have some very key players still to bring into the team again. Ryan Kent hopefully will be very close to a return, and Ryan Jack will have had a further 2 weeks of training and closer to the objective. So, yeah, I think you're right, there are gears that we can move up, and the team can only get better.
I think so. Andy?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, you had a great point on Friday when, I was worried about Patterson going, and he said, no, I think, his family and all that have got it in place, and then lo and behold, he comes out with his presser yesterday and says, well, I've had a word with James now, and, I want to get more or less get Patterson game time and make you a better player for not playing. Like we say, you learn more sitting in the stand sometimes. So, yeah, I think it's all good. I think once we can get the players all back. I mean, I don't like international breaks, but I've got to be honest with you. I said to Shugs there, I says, I take this. It gives us a wee bit of time to work on things, hopefully get people back and players fit. And so I'm going to take it, although it's been criticised. I mean, I was claiming the was this morning, thinking that there's no game for 2 weeks, but looking at it logically, I don't think it'll do the Rangers any harm right enough, because the momentum should still be there. The way they celebrated that win, and the crowd was all bouncing and all that. So, hopefully that stays in their minds, and they're wanting to come back and go out and do the same to Hearts, but with even a wee bit more swagger than what we had in that second half where we come at them, So that's what I'm looking for now.
Aye, I'm looking for us. I agree with you, mate. I'm looking for us to go up the gears. I think there's more to come. GB.
Yeah.
A lot more to come. I think even Lundstrom said it in his interview, and he's only new in the door, and he's seen that there's more to come for the team, Mox. I really see yesterday as one of the games like we had last season with Motherwell, where we came back and won the game in the last 5 minutes and stuff like that. And I feel yesterday was that kind of game where it could be a defining moment for our season, that these players go away, pumped up, a wee bit of a break. I feel for Lundstrom right enough, he's not wanting the break, he's wanting to get into another game the following week. But for this, like you, Angus has said and stuff like that, about bringing back Ken and hopefully Ryan Jack into the squad. Hopefully we'll come back after this international break stronger and ready to push on. And like I says, hopefully hit the gears that we were seeing last season, because there was glimpses of it yesterday, mate.
Aye, just glimpses, I would agree with that. And we can go through the gears, hopefully, Bridgeman, and perform better.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to build it up. We've got a certain level. I think going back to what JB was saying about the Lundstrom system, when Lundstrom says he's looking for a game next week, type man, he's hit a streak of form that he's maybe not had for quite a wee while, and he wants that to continue. He wants all these feelings he was feeling when we got to score the winning goal and with the game finished and everything that went with that. He wants that. He doesn't want it to end. I've been there. I know what it's like. Seriously, you don't want it to end. You know, it's just incredible, and that's what you're looking for. But unfortunately, as we know, we've had some great form, and then we went abroad and we did this and did that, and we lost all our form, and it just went away from us. So for some reason, we couldn't get it back for quite a while. That's what Lundstrom's probably fearing. He doesn't want to stop it.
Quick question for the three callers, and then I'll come to Gaz. This first section of the season, who you gained player of the season so far? William?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Come on, mate. I'll come up tomorrow.
That's a tough one. I'll go with Lundstrom.
Lundstrom? Okay.
I'll go with Lundstrom.
Okay. All right. Angus?
I'm actually going to go for Connor Goldson.
Okay.
I just think he's been very consistent.
Yeah, okay. Andy?
Oh, he ain't going for the two, that's for sure. I don't really. Come on. No, none of them at the minute.
Come on, have that fence.
Oh, come on. Right, go on. I'm going to go against the grain. And if you're talking about the first plat that's playing, it has to be the Scouse guy that's coming to a bit of fun.
Lundstrom.
Yeah.
Andy's a guy with principles, and if you don't like the ones, he's got other ones, isn't he, GP?
I know, absolutely. I've got plenty of them, don't worry about that.
Here's that.
Your GP.
So far for me, probably a bit of a surprise one, Ox, is Balogun for me, mate.
Makes sense, mate. Aye, makes sense. I get where you're coming from. Aye. All right. Well. Thanks to everybody for calling, but we've reached that time of the evening. It's over to the Bridgeman.
I'm going for Goldson for player of the season so far. For me,
never
I just say, I know you never. I'm just telling you. What can I say? Can I just say, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio. And by the way, thank you, Oxford. A brilliant night, and thanks, JB, for helping me out, or me helping you, one of the two. Can I just say, please, everybody, have a good holiday. Please relax, but come back on here every night, please. Let's get chatting. Keep it going for the Rangers.
Yeah,
Rangers
come and join us. Great to have fresher callers and new callers, different callers. Great here for all the Bears. But for also, GB, once again, hope everything works out for you and everybody's safe, well and healthy, and you can move on with your new family, mate. Yeah.
Cheers for that. You enjoy the international break too. Get some downtime when you can, lads.
All right. Cheers, mate. Right, okay. Thanks to all the callers. Thanks to Angus, Willie. Great to hear from you. Andy Phillips, of course. And there was somebody else I missed. How could I forget Ian? Ian Greer for YouTube. Always great to hear Ian. Thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks to Bridgeman and GB for helping with the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Remember, if you want any details on the race night, rangersradio@gmail.com, and you'll get a good reply, Andy, for Leeds will verify that. And also, we'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be joined by Southside, Bridgeman, and Big Stevie. There could be some tales tomorrow night. Take it away, Old School Blue.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 55 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice. Celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. For lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 65 titles, we're still going strong. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 55 titles, we're still going strong. 55 titles, we're still